Liverpool fans, huge news is breaking right now. Klopp's shocking decision, Van Dijk's warning, Mamardashvili's heroics, and a massive Liverpool versus Tottenham showdown. Before we dive in, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest Liverpool updates and transfer news. Jurgen Klopp rejects Liverpool and Real Madrid to take dream job Man United will love. A stunning report out of Germany claims Red Bull are starting to believe Jurgen Klopp will return to management in the summer, and if he takes the job they're claiming, Manchester United will be a happy club indeed. Klopp and his camp continue to stress the 58-year-old is happy and content in his role as head of soccer at Red Bull. However, the noise now coming from multiple parts of Europe suggests otherwise. There are no shortage of reports in the Spanish press talking up Klopp returning to management by joining Real Madrid in the summer. There'll be more than a few on Merseyside hoping Klopp returns to Anfield too, with Arne Slot's position as manager of Liverpool in danger heading into the summer. However, Team Talk recently revealed that if Klopp does throw his hat in the managerial ring once again, he won't go back to Liverpool. Klopp believes his story in England is fully written, something that has added extra weight to the Real Madrid links. But according to German outlet Bild, as cited by GGFN, Klopp won't be jetting off to the Bernabeu to shake hands with Florentino Perez either. Instead, it's claimed Red Bull are increasingly fearful Klopp will walk away in the summer in order to become the new manager of the German national side after the World Cup. At this point in time, you might be questioning what all this has to do with Manchester United. The current manager of the German national team is Julian Nagelsmann, who multiple sources have confirmed features highly on Man United's own managerial shortlist. Nagelsmann is contracted to the German FA until the conclusion of Euro 2028. But if the decision is made to replace Nagelsmann with Klopp after this summer's World Cup, the former will be readily available to hire at Old Trafford. GFFN summarized the situation when stating, Sport Bild reports that Red Bull are concerned that Jurgen Klopp will leave his role as global head of soccer. In recent weeks, there has been speculation that the energy drinks company are unhappy with the work of the former Liverpool and Borussia Dortmund head coach, and that he could be removed from his role as global head of soccer, which he began in January of 2025. While Klopp won't be leaving his role to manage Real Madrid, there are discussions internally that he could leave Red Bull in the summer to replace Julian Nagelsmann as the German national team head coach, and this is considered a real possibility. Trusted reporter Ben Jacobs is among those to have confirmed Nagelsmann is rated highly by Man United, who will conduct an exhaustive review at the end of the season before appointing their next permanent manager. Furthermore, our insider, Graham Bailey, has been informed Nagelsmann is keen to join Man United, and his camp have tasked intermediaries with ensuring his name remains firmly in the mix for the Old Trafford hot seat, despite the fact he has a World Cup with Germany looming over the horizon. In another news, Liverpool versus Tottenham, odds reflect massive stakes at both ends of the table. Liverpool and Tottenham face off on Sunday in the Premier League, and both sides have plenty on the line in terms of Champions League hopes and avoiding relegation. Liverpool and Tottenham will both be desperate for 3 points when they meet at Anfield on Sunday. Arne Slot's side is coming off a 1-0 defeat to Galatasaray in the first leg of the Champions League round of 16 on Tuesday, while Spurs were completely embarrassed by Atletico Madrid in their tie, conceding 4 in the opening 22 minutes in a 5-2 loss. Before both teams get the opportunity to claw back in the second leg next week, they meet in a crucial Premier League fixture that could ultimately dictate their league finishing position. The Reds are -333 3/10 favourites to take the 3 points, with Tottenham a +750 15 halves shot to record a first domestic victory since the 28 of last year. A draw has odds of +500, 5/1. Given the form Spurs are in, anything other than 3 points for Slot's men will be viewed as a massive disappointment. Liverpool enters the game week in 6th on 48 points, behind Chelsea on goal difference, and 3 points behind Manchester United and Aston Villa in 3rd and 4th respectively. The Reds are -125 6th to finish in the top 4 of the Premier League, better odds than Aston Villa and Chelsea, and -400 1/4 to come top 5. It is not yet determined whether the top 4 or 5 English teams will earn Champions League qualification for next season. Tottenham are winless in their last 11 Premier League matches, including 5 straight defeats, and run the risk of being relegated from the top division for the first time since the 1976-77 campaign. Entering Sunday's match against Liverpool, Spurs are 1 point clear of the bottom 3 on 29 points. Igor Tudor's side is +163 13/8 to go down, the same chances as West Ham and just shorter than Nottingham Forest, who are +275 11/4 to be relegated. Tottenham's match against Forest on March 22 could ultimately serve as the decider for who stays up and who drops to the Championship. In the first meeting between the sides this season on Deck 20, Liverpool edged the 3 points in North London in a 2-1 victory through goals from Alexander Isak, who suffered a fractured leg while scoring, and Hugo Ekitike. Richarlison got one back for the hosts in the 83rd minute, but it wasn't enough as 9-man Spurs were beaten. In another news, from what I've heard, Tottenham Stars' £100 million transfer hopes crushed with Liverpool uninterested. Liverpool are not interested in Tottenham. Defender Micky van de Ven, ahead of the summer transfer window, according to reports, while the Netherlands international has opened up how Spurs' struggles has impacted his mental health. The Reds have struggled in the Premier League this season, with Arne Slot's side currently 6th in the Premier League and in danger of missing out on Champions League qualification. A summer of upheaval has seen Liverpool fail to replicate the form which saw them win the Premier League last season, with senior centre-backs Ibrahima Konate and Virgil van Dijk coming in for criticism at times. Several players have come under the microscope this season, but the centre-back department have been under particular pressure with a lack of backup. A deal to sign Mark Guehi, who is now at Manchester City, fell through in the summer after Crystal Palace pulled the plug during his Liverpool medical, while summer signing Giovanni Leone suffered a season-ending injury in September. Liverpool have made that an area of priority to strengthen in the summer, with the signing of Rennes centre-back Jeremy Jacquet already lined up, while the Reds are believed to be eyeing at least one more in that position. Tottenham defender Van de Ven has been heavily linked with a potential move to Liverpool, and reports on Tuesday claim that a deal is more likely than the Reds signing Inter Milan star Alessandro Bastoni. However, journalist Dominic King has now revealed that Liverpool are not interested in signing the Tottenham centre-back this summer, despite Van de Ven being keen on a move. King said on TalkSport, "From what I've heard, I don't believe they're in for him. I would never say anything definitively about a football transfer, because things can change. I would believe that he would want to come to Liverpool. That's from what I've heard, but I'm not sure that the feeling is totally mutual at this moment in time." Without confirming Liverpool will attempt to sign Van de Ven in the summer, Team Talk revealed on February 24th that the Reds and Manchester United are closely monitoring Van de Ven's situation at Tottenham. It is understood that Liverpool have a long-standing admiration for Van de Ven, having tracked him closely during his time in Germany before he moved to Tottenham. That came after Team Talk insider Graham Bailey revealed that Tottenham are not close to agreeing a new deal for the Netherlands international. Those talks have been shelved until the summer as Spurs look to concentrate on avoiding relegation, but sources close to Van de Ven suggest he is weighing up his options ahead of the next transfer market. Tottenham lost 5-2 to Atletico Madrid in a disastrous first leg of their last 16 Champions League tie, with interim boss Igor Tudor now likely to be sacked after losing all 4 of his matches in charge. Van de Ven, "It's a truly terrible time." Reacting to their defeat to the La Liga side, Van de Ven revealed his sympathy for Antonin Kinski, who was substituted after 2 early mistakes as Spurs went 3-0 behind, and insists it's a truly terrible time at Tottenham. Van de Ven told reporters, "It was terrible, to be honest, a doomsday scenario. Everything that could go wrong in the first 20 minutes went wrong. Everyone slips, including me. Those are moments you simply can't do anything about. I can hardly stand here and start blaming the pitch. It's terrible for Kinski too. He's making his debut. You wouldn't wish this on anyone." He added, "I could of course give the standard speech that we all have to stick together and work hard, but we're just being dealt a blow after a blow. It's just really difficult. We have an important match this weekend against Liverpool that I can't play because I'm suspended, of course. But it's a truly terrible time." On the tough impact on his mental health and how he's now completely done with looking at his phone, Van de Ven continued, "It's tough, I can tell you. Really tough. I have to keep going. This is life. I'm not on my phone anymore. I'm completely done with it. Only family and stuff." More Liverpool and Tottenham news. Reports in Spain are suggesting that Alexis Mac Allister has told Liverpool that he would like to leave the club in the summer, with Real Madrid and Manchester United interested. However, transfer expert Fabrizio Romano poured cold water for now on speculation linking Liverpool's fierce rivals Man United with the Argentina international. Liverpool could soon have a new manager, with Romano revealing that there are very positive feelings between the Reds and the potential candidate to succeed Slot, who is under pressure. Romano added that the Reds board will have an internal review involving players, managers and people at the club in the summer to determine whether Slot stays on as manager. Elsewhere, Tottenham head coach Tudor offered an alarming response when asked if he could be sacked at Spurs, and explained his choice to substitute Kinski. In another news, Liverpool on red alert as Julian Alvarez casts doubt over Atletico Madrid future. Julian Alvarez has refused to guarantee his future at Atletico Madrid beyond this season, as several clubs, including Arsenal, monitor the former Manchester City striker's situation. Julian Alvarez has left the door ajar for a potential summer move after declining to confirm he'll remain at Atletico Madrid beyond the current campaign. The former Manchester City forward netted twice on Tuesday as Diego Simeone's side demolished Tottenham at the Wanda Metropolitano in the Champions League last 16. Following the 7-goal thriller, Alvarez, who is attracting interest from Arsenal and Barcelona, was questioned about his future at Atletico next season. While Arsenal and Barcelona are the two teams most linked with Alvarez right now, Liverpool has reportedly been interested in the striker in recent times. Alvarez replied when questioned about his future, I don't know, but maybe yes, maybe no. You never know. But I'm very happy here. You ask me a question that will end up all over the place, but I'm happy. I'm thinking about the day-to-day, I'm working to improve, to give my best here. I never said anything bad about the club. I'm very grateful. The people also showed me their affection, so I'm very happy. Alvarez, however, refused to be drawn on reports linking him with Barcelona, adding, I have nothing to say. These are things that are said on social media. A lot of things are said, but everyone posts their opinion, and it just snowballs. I'm happy here, very content and competing in all the competitions. Arsenal has been monitoring the 26-year-old since his spell at Manchester City, and the Gunners are prepared to explore a summer approach if the Argentine becomes available. But they are unlikely to be the only club interested, as Joan Laporta has already indicated he will pursue a deal for Alvarez if he is re-elected as Barcelona president. Laporta recently told Catalan radio, Julian Alvarez is not a player who will break the bank. He's an excellent player who they say would fit perfectly into Barca's system, but he's not a player you have to pay a fortune for. First, he should demonstrate his willingness to come, which is what we want from all the players who might interest us, and it should be at a reasonable price then. It could be considered. But, given his current demands, they're out of line. Alvarez representative Fernando Hidalgo has repeatedly denied being in discussions with any club about his client, who joined Atletico in August 2024. Spanish media reports in early February suggested Hidalgo had been in London and even watched Arsenal's 1-0 Carabao Cup semi-final triumph over Chelsea at the Emirates Stadium. The player's deal with Atletico runs until the summer of 2030. In another news, Virgil van Dijk makes fight promise but unsure whether Liverpool has enough. The Liverpool centre-back admitted a lack of consistency has impacted the Reds' campaign, with a vast improvement needed when Galatasaray travels to Anfield next week. Virgil van Dijk admitted Liverpool will need to be vastly improved if it is to progress to the Champions League last 16 when it faces Galatasaray next week at Anfield. The Reds lost 1-0 at Rams Park on Wednesday, with Mario Lemina netting the only goal of the game via a 7th-minute header. The Reds created a host of scoring opportunities in Istanbul, but could not find a way back into the game, spurning 6 shots on target and an expected goals of 1.40 across the first leg. At the other end, this was the sort of jittery defensive display that routinely blighted the Reds' campaign during the autumn months, with Ibrahima Konate looking particularly suspect at the back. Van Dijk also had a few shaky moments, and the Liverpool centre-back admitted he and the team need to be better in the second leg next week. We have to fight, we have to deserve it. We have to earn the next round, he said after the game. Next week obviously is the decider. We're at home, but we have to show that we want and deserve to go through. First and foremost, in the way we play, defend and attack. You have to earn the right. You have to fight for it. The challenges, second ball fight. In games we have been showing that, and in some games we have been lacking, and that's why we have been inconsistent, unfortunately. Finding that consistency has been hard for Liverpool all campaign, but that is particularly apparent across the last 5 matches. The performance levels against Nottingham Forest, West Ham and the double-header at Wolves last week have highlighted how volatile the Reds' standards can be game to game. While most are confident Liverpool can turn the Champions League tie around at Anfield next week, Van Dijk reiterated that the Reds will need to offer more than they did in Turkey on Tuesday. That consistency is something we want to improve and aim for. If we want to go through to the next round, we definitely have to show that on Wednesday. Those are the main things, and together in our house, home and our fans, we hopefully can make it an amazing evening. Did I see enough to think we can get through? I've seen a lot in terms of the chances we created, but it doesn't mean that that's going to be enough. In another news, Giorgi Mamardashvili judged by Virgil van Dijk after keeping Liverpool alive. Virgil van Dijk praised Giorgi Mamardashvili's performance as Liverpool lost 1-0 at Galatasaray on Tuesday. The goalkeeper was a relatively late introduction for Alisson. who suffered a hamstring injury in Monday's training session and was forced to withdraw from the squad that flew to Turkey for the Champions League last 16 first leg. Mamardashvili was drafted in for just the 12th time since joining from Valencia last summer, and only a second appearance since late November, when Alisson recovered from a similar hamstring issue. Ironically, that run began with the Brazilian sustaining an injury as Liverpool lost 1-0 at Galatasaray in September. Mamardashvili was omitted for Friday's FA Cup win over Wolves at Molineux and was facing the prospect of not playing another match this season. Yet he had to quickly adapt to the news of Alisson's injury and put in an impressive display in front of the Partizan home support at Rams Park. The goalkeeper clawed away with Noah Lang's cross with an excellent reaction stop in the first half, and also thwarted Davinson Sanchez's header with a full-length sprawl, as he helped keep the deficit to just 1 goal. That, unsurprisingly, earned praise from Van Dijk after the game. He did well. To hear the news after training, and obviously to completely change his mindset to be ready for a big game like this in the circumstances, last 16, he did well, said the Liverpool skipper. Mamardashvili made 3 saves in the first leg, which was settled by Mario Lemina's first-half header from a corner. Whether the Georgian stopper is required for the second leg or Sunday's Premier League clash against Tottenham is unclear. Slot will likely provide an update in Friday's pre-match press conference. Another odd irony of Mamardashvili's involvement on Tuesday was the news of Alisson's injury broke just hours after quotes emerged from the deputy keeper, where he spoke of the need to remain patient and wait for his chance to play. "If I don't play, I don't mind. I have to work hard every day, and that's it. My time will come for sure. Maybe not this year, but my time will come," the 25-year-old said on the Reds roundtable. "My ex-goalkeeper coach, Jose Manuel Torreira, when I was in Valencia, told me I have to find balance between ambition and patience, you know, so keep working hard, and you never know when your chance is coming. I signed for Liverpool almost 2 years ago, and I had to wait last season until I came here," he added. "It was a really long 1 year for me, and now I'm happy to be here." That's the latest Liverpool news for today. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe and share with fellow Reds fans. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Can Liverpool beat Tottenham and stay in the race?